Hey y'all, it's Dr. Scott here with another episode of Playing the Black Card. Happy Black History Month again. I'm so happy to be here with y'all. Today, I wanted to have a conversation on, actually, it's kind of a little love letter to African American culture. So, for context, if you don't know, I am a Jamaican American. I was born in America. I was raised predominantly in America, but I spent a lot of time going back and forth between Jamaica and America throughout my childhood. As an adult, I spent a lot of time in Jamaica. I am currently in Jamaica right now, and there is something I realized that I was missing out. So growing up, I grew up in a predominantly African Caribbean community in Alabama. That sounds wild, right? Where do you even find that? But I did. So the majority of people around me were either from their families or themselves were either from the Caribbean or they were from Africa. Specifically the Black people around me, but I grew up in a predominantly Black community. So when I moved to Washington, D.C., and I got a chance to really experience African American culture, I was hooked. Y'all should have seen me. You really should have seen me. I was out there. I'm here with the go-go music. I'm bopping, right? I'm going down. I'm in Shaw, Howard, right by Howard University. If you are in the DC area, you know that Metro PCS on the corner, right by Howard Hospital. And I'll be bopping, right? And then I'm passing. I remember my first time taking the train. Mind you, I'm from Alabama. I'm from Alabama. I am Jamaican and Alabama. Hey, and now I'm in inner city DC, and I get off the train, and if y'all know, there's a liquor store, and then on both sides of the aisle, I'm nervous, right? It's still pretty early. I don't know what's going on. And all you get is, "Good morning, sister. How you doing, beautiful? You doing all right? You better have a good day. You better have a good day." I said, "I love it here." I said, "I absolutely love it here." And I do. I still love DC. That is such a beautiful place for me. And what I realized, right, specifically growing up as a Jamaican American, that there was always this idea that was silent, right? And sometimes not so silent, that in some ways, African American culture was less than, that African Americans were less than. And obviously we understand that those are tropes of white supremacy that have been ultimately pushed even by beautiful Black folks in the diaspora, right? It's all a trick. We all been tricked, right? So it's not even too much on Jamaicans. But there was this idea, and I remember wanting to be Jamaican more than I was African American. And it was while I was in DC. Mind you, I'm an adult, right? I'm here for med school. I'm an adult. And that I fell in love with African culture, African American culture. And I fell in love with myself specifically as an African American. And I recognized that in my heart, right? Though culturally, because my Black card always about to get revoked. Whenever I play the game, my Black card is always getting revoked. But specifically as a Jamaican American culturally, right? And I tend to lean significantly more Jamaican culturally than American, though I'm not fully either. That I'd always wanted to be more Jamaican, because there was this underlying idea, right, that Jamaican culture is better than African American culture. And I got to DC, I said, they played y'all. They played me too, right? They played all of us with this wild idea. When you hear those bongo drums, right? And you hear the 5 a.m. Hey, you start to realize that this culture is so beautiful. When you start to think about the amount of influence that we have around the world, when you start to think about hip-hop music, when you start to think about hip-hop dance that's been co-opted and gentrified, when you start to think about all the things, right? The styles, the hair, the nails, the skin, don't get me started, right? And I just wanted, right, in a world that even the Black folks got something to say about us. Because culturally, I may not be the most African American, but in here, I am, right? In here, I am. And so, like, while the world, even down to the Black folks, got a lot to say about us, and there's, so many things that would like to put us down. I'm like, man, we're beautiful and we're powerful. And I remember what made me even think to actually do this video was this girl. She was in Vietnam, and this Black American girl, and so this white British man asked her, oh, like, where are you from? And she said, I'm from America. And he was like, oh, so where's your family from? And she's like, they're from America too. He's like, but where are they really from? And that question of, but where are they really from? And she like starts explaining, and then he's like, I'm more African than you. I have something about South Africa, whatever, right? However, that question of where are they really from is a question that Black Americans tend to get a lot when we think about the world stage, and especially when we think about being in the African diaspora. And I think it's because it's so rare. It's so rare for a community to develop such a unique culture, right? Independent culture, completely. African American culture is so independent of American culture. Yes, they combine. Yes, they come together. Yes, they intersect, but it is a separate, unique culture within this country. And so the idea is it's so rare, right? And it's such a beautiful act of resistance, in my opinion, where it's like, I'm gonna be here, right? Christians like to say, I'm in this world, but I'm not of this world. Like, I'm American, but I'm Black American. And that has a whole different ring. It has a whole different vibe. It has a whole different zhuzh. It got a whole different swag to it. And I just feel so privileged and honored to call this culture my own. And shout out to everybody who's like rocking with their own cultures. Because again, this is no hate to nobody else, right? I feel like I got to say that all the time. So this is the point where my mic died. I had no clue. I was just yapping away. But I think that this is a good place to end it anyways. Again, happy Valentine's Day to everybody, but especially to my African Americans. I love you all. You're seen, you're understood, you're heard, you're loved, you're beautiful, you're kind in the midst of everything that you've been through, and go us. Okay, toodaloo, y'all.